Rolls on from South Carolina. The Aggies with the 94-53 win over South Carolina. And head coach Buzz Williams kind enough to join us after this one. Buzz, I was talking with John before you came out that the buzzwords have been the maturity. The Aggies seem to have it tonight. You said that rebounding was going to be so important. Buzz, a plus 32 when it comes to the rebounds. Your thoughts after this win against South Carolina, and we'll describe it a little bit later. You're now plus 2 through 4 games in the SEC.
Yeah, all of that. I think number 10 not playing for them changed the complexion of their team. He is a physical presence. He can score, but he also has a level of toughness that has a positive impact for them on the glass. I don't have all the numbers because I was trying to hurry up and get out here, but in the first half, our offensive rebound percentage was 58%, and our defensive rebound percentage was 94%. I think they had one defensive rebound in the first half. And we had really good numbers, as you guys know, in the first half on the glass against Missouri. So that was one of the things that we continue to talk about is it's not a class where you can bomb the first test and make up for it on the second test. I think that in life you continue to get the same test over and over until you pass it. And so literally on my game charts that I talked to the team about, I had written first half, question mark, and second half, question mark, in the pregame notes. So obviously at halftime I filled in those numbers. And here's the same opportunity that we had on Wednesday night. Can we take a step in regards to growing and in maturing? And I don't have the numbers, but I know that they're going to be significantly better in the second half tonight than they were in the second half against Missouri. I think similar to what you and I talked about in pregame, because of the job our coaches are doing and how we're teaching rebounding and the amount of time that we're giving to that in the film room and the emphasis in what we're doing in practice. As you guys know, we're playing with the bubble every single day. There's been a compound effect of that to the point, as I mentioned, we're treating rebounding at the same level of importance or category as offense or defense. And the more I have learned through this from our staff and watching the consistency of our players, it happens at a higher rate than anything else, right? If you don't turn the ball over and there's a shot, whether you're on offense or defense, if the shot is not made, then there's a rebound opportunity. And so tonight it was a 63 possession game. I told the guys it'd be a 65 possession game. They shot 38%, so they missed 31 balls, and we missed 28 balls. Okay, well, the ball, it's a loose ball in the air no matter who shot it. And what percentage of the time are we gaining possession? It's not there yet, but it is for sure gaining traction in regards to that has to be part of the fabric of who we are, because you can control, so just like Missouri, can you control tempo? How? Well, you can control tempo on the glass to some degree. This game is the exact opposite in regards to tempo, but you can still control the game in many respects, or manipulate the game, if that's a better word, with your job and consistency on the glass. And I think through 4 games, through 2 weeks, our guys, we don't have to say it as much, like they're beginning to see it because we're showing it to them. We're doing the report cards. They're beginning to understand it because it's just what we're –
It's becoming part of your DNA.
Yeah, we're just
right?
Lau, you talk about offense, and Devin, you talk about defense, and I'm going to talk about rebounding. And just that's what we teach, that's what we show, and I don't want to take the credit because here's the thing, and I tell Boots this a lot. Boots is an all-time go-get on offense. Boots, you have to go every time, and you have to go on the rise. So you have to be our best player, and you have to be the best rebounder in the country that's shorter than 6'4". I hope we make a lot of shots, but you still have to go. So we made 55% tonight. Okay, well, he needs to go the 55% that we make at the same consistency that he goes on the ones that we didn't make, if that makes sense.
It does.
And that's, man, the discipline required to do that
you can't
on
pick
both
and
ends.
choose. You can't pick and choose.
Yeah, that's because one of the report card categories is SA, stand around. There's the rise, and you just stand there. No, you missed. You failed on that possession. That's hard to do.
So, Buzz, one of the things that I would say, and for consistency of the game, and I don't want to get into this too much, but as far as connectedness, peripheral vision, moving, taking away those ghost screens, or
did good on ghosts.
It's unbelievable. You just took it completely away from them. So, with that, there's so many categories we can sit here and just beat up. But this thing that I think, and I'd like to hear what you think about this, decision-making offensively, it was all-time good. Not just from Wade, but everybody in decisions and executing with purpose. Screens where they're supposed to be angles, but it just seemed like the offense was really flowing.
Well, Lyle, we call it Twitter offense one day before, and it's just where we show clip after clip after clip of how the opponent defends actions, screens, ball screens that we run. And so they show, here's South Carolina and how they play that screen. Now watch us run that play when they defend it like that. And so we've narrowed in our play categories of what we're going to do specific to how the opponent defends. I think that's really helped. And then I think the other thing, 4 is elite in his emotional intelligence. He's just as elite in his IQ. And so he has a really good feel for, I can shoot this one. I can change the pace. Jew needs a touch. Let me throw it on a dart to H. That's going to be a clean look for H. It's the combination of his IQ and his EQ. And that I've been talking to him about this since Florida. He's drawn 5 charges as he crosses half court with the guy on his back.
Mm-hmm.
We've had 5, not counting tonight, we've had 5 balls in the air. It's an unclean rebound, and we talk about a fingertip changes everything. So if you can't get it, hit it like it's a volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
We've had 5 tip outs, if that's what you want to call it, that have led to 14 points. 4, the player, has been fouled 5 times that have led to 6 free throw makes by him. That is teaching by the coaches of right here, you see, we can get this intangible that nobody's thinking about. But I think that when 4 is playing with that level of pace, knowing what is the right pace, there's a residual to others. Like Boots was running throttle the last 2.5 minutes in the first half, and he played with great poise. Didn't take a bad shot. Not him. Our team didn't take a bad shot. Knew when to play in the break. Knew when to set up in the half court. Like that decision-making, 4 leads that because he's going to play most of the minutes at that spot. But even when 4 doesn't have it, when he's making mature decisions like that, it positively impacts everybody.
But one of the things I was going to say, also, those things aren't taught in one practice
No,
session. It's repetition.
All success is a lagging indicator.
Right.
All success is a lagging indicator. I understand the results. I know that's how we're judged. I get all of that. But like I keep talking to our guys, we're doing this not for the next game. We're doing this for today and the next game, but compound impact, right? It's the 8th wonder of the world.
Well, one of the things I'll say about this, and I think it's a great example of your point about what your teams are going to be like and how they can mature. But a loose ball down here. South Carolina reaches down.
No, we're not doing that.
And Wade and Henry Coleman split second, both
Super,
dive.
Superman.
That's Superman.
10 toes,
and
10
if you,
fingers in the air.
That's
now.
it. You can't think about
No,
that. You
it
have
has
to react.
be instinct. That's
Yeah.
how we start every practice. Just
Yeah.
start rolling those balls to the point.
They're getting good at it now, though, too.
Maybe this is the wrong way to say it. They're comfortable being on the floor.
Yeah.
Because we practice. There it is.
Yeah.
Just dive.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing it at different rates of speed. And the only thing is it has to be 10 toes and 10 fingers, and you can't slide out of bounds or it doesn't count, and you have to do it again. We do that on shooter. We do that every time.
I talk about that.
If we pray, that means we're working, and if we pray, we're doing that before we ever do anything else.
Was there anybody better than Boots?
That
the floor
He's
on that little Superman dive that he had, and he stayed in bounds.
His
You said it
is-
though, poise. There's a maturity, and you know what, Buzz? He's got a respect of everybody.
Yeah, he's the quietest, most impactful leader that I've coached, because he has. That's why he's Boots. Like, hence his name. Like, he has a layer of toughness that is visible, and he can lead by his example. But if he says something, you're like, uh-oh.
It's for real.
He doesn't speak unless it's needed, because his example is so loud.
Absolutely. Buzz, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Great
you.
flight home. You bet. Buzz Williams joining us courtside after the Aggies' 94-53 win. Our Wells Fargo winning moments when we return to the St. Joseph postgame show. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield.